Starting the morning off. I'm trying to get this put back together today. Hopefully I can get her done. It's a Saturday. So first thing I'm going to do is drain the water from the system, and I'm going to pull this water pump and replace it. I got a high quality made in China one. Hopefully it's better than this one that has 150,000 miles. Hopefully it'll hold up. And I'm going to replace the thermostat underneath that housing there. So both of them come with new gaskets, so I'm not going to apply any silicone to it. I'm just going to put the gaskets in. Unless I pull this off and it shows gasket material, silicone material, then I'll do the same that they did at factory. But I'm assuming that just using the gasket is all we need to do. So let me get her drained and get that done. Alright, so I pulled the drain plug on the radiator. I'm just going to drain it down till it stops coming out, and then I'm going to seal it back up, and that should have the water level below the thermostat and the water pump. I'm sure I'll lose a little bit of water when I open those, but anyway, so little plastic plug there is all it has, and you have to take the radiator cap out, or suction builds up and it won't come out. The water won't drain. So here's your water pump. It's got 3 bolts. They're 12mm bolt heads, and they are in there really tight, surprisingly, because these are only supposed to be torqued to 16 foot-pounds. So that tells me they use Loctite on it. I'm not going to put Loctite. I'm probably just going to put the anti-seize grease on it. Maybe I should look that up in the manual, but maybe it requires Loctite. I don't know. I'm not planning on using it, but I just wanted to comment. The two upper bolts aren't too much of a trouble to get to. This one here, though, this piece of the housing that the water pump bolts into gets in the way. You can get you can get a normal closed boxed in wrench on there when it's tightened, but if you loosen it too much, you won't be able to get it off. So what you're gonna have to do is loosen it, then snug it back down a little bit, get this out of here, and then by hand remove it. So just so you know, these are 12mm bolts. Here's the first two. I think they're identical. The first two are identical, and I assume the third is too. I will mention it if it is not. Okay, so I'm encountering a problem here. That bottom bolt can't be removed because the tensioner, belt tensioner assembly is blocking it. It just won't come out. It's physically hitting that. So I don't know yet if moving the tensioner will fix that. I will try if you can move it with a wrench and loosen it, or if you have to remove the whole assembly, unbolt it. Let me see if I can figure that out. Okay, so there's 2 holes, one on the moving part of the tensioner and one on the stationary part of the tensioner. Or I guess the engine block, I'm not even sure. Anyway, this one's stationary, this one moves. You're going to want to put a piece of metal in there. I fashioned a tool from an old piece of antenna, and I stuck it in there, and it's holding. But be very careful. Whatever you do, make sure you get it secure enough, because when your hands are in there, if that thing gives way, you're going to break a finger or worse. So yeah, anyway, so that's what you got to do. You got to line those holes up and pull it down with a wrench and slip your tool into those 2 holes to keep it in position. So comparing the 2 water pumps, the original Nissan is obviously a much better quality than these Chinese ones. But the problem is, with this kind of mileage, even this one's going to eventually start leaking. The metal quality and thickness is not as good on this one, you can tell, but as long as you keep good antifreeze in there, keep it, changed on every 5 years or something, shouldn't have a problem. It shouldn't deteriorate. But that isn't to say that the seals won't. If the seals are cheap, then they may leak. It won't matter much. Then you can probably put bars leak or something in the system. Most people, or some people, don't like doing that. But hey, if that's what you got to do to get a leak, a weep hole leak on a water pump to stop, especially if it's a new pump, you got to do it. But I'm not anticipating any problems. The reviews on this pump, this is an SKP brand, and or SPK, something like that, and the reviews were good, so I don't anticipate any problems. I'm going to be putting it in now. Got the gasket on and the screws on just hand tight. You're supposed to torque these to 16 foot-pounds, but you're not going to get a torque wrench in there. Okay, there's just no room, and these holes that are in the pulley don't line up well enough to put a torque wrench, you know, put a long socket through to get to that. I guess if you wanted, you could use a U-joint or something, but that won't be accurate. So I guess just guess at it. Remember, it's 16 foot-pounds. It's not a whole hell of a lot. All right, so the thermostat's going to be a lot more accessible. We will be able to torque these to 16. Easy access to the bolts. Before I remove this original one, I wanted to point out that the burper is on top. You see that? The new thermostat should have a burper like that, or at least a hole. So I bought a Gates brand for it, and this wasn't made in China. It was made in Israel. So I'm going to assume that means it's better quality. I don't know. Get this thing out. All right, so you can see the seal on it's built in. It's a rubber thing all the way around. There is no plastic or paper seal for this one. And the burper is that little hole right there, I guess. So I need to make sure it's up. It's up, not down when I install this. It's the only requirement really, and it's also going to be pointing in the right direction. So it's gonna, this end goes into the engine, and the burper is up, so it goes in like that. All right, so I ordered the wrong thermostat. This car has two thermostats. This is the upper one. I didn't realize that when I ordered it. I'm not replacing that one today, so I'm gonna have to go to AutoZone or somewhere and pick up the right one. This one was definitely needing to be replaced. You can tell by these rubber pieces here. If you do you see that piece of rubber there? That tells you that it's starting to fail. And yeah, it's in pretty rough shape. So that explains why this one didn't have the little burper pin in there. That's needed for the inlet. This is the inlet one. So I'm going to run and get that part and put this in, and just keep going from there. Okay, so I cannot get the thermostat locally. They have ones that don't have the burper pin, and I want to put a burper pin back in. That way the system has an easier time of getting rid of the air. So I'm going to order one online, and I'll finish that next week or when the first chance I can. I just wanted to comment that the bolts that hold that in are the same length. So I'll just put them in hand tight, keep that from being exposed, and I will continue putting everything back together on this side of the engine. Alternator, belt, etc. Okay, so this is the bolt, the back bottom bolt for the alternator that goes like that. And it was rounded when I removed it. I don't know if I did it or if it was already rounded and I just made it worse. I don't know. But I took a file to it and cleaned it up, and it still fits pretty well inside the 15mm socket. There is a little bit of play in there. I guess you're not going to be able to see it well. Can't do this with one hand. Anyway, there is a little bit of play, but this thing is only supposed to be torqued to 20 foot-pounds. Somebody went crazy on it and probably did 40 or something. Now the front one is 35 foot-pounds, I think. It's more, but this one's only supposed to be 20. The nut was also rounded, and I've got a replacement nut, and I've also cleaned it up. So, is that a 14? That one may not even be metric, but it is the same thread, so maybe it is metric. So maybe that's a 15. Anyway, I may go back with the original if the socket fits real well on it after I followed it up and cleaned it up. Well, I got it upside down. Oh, actually, they're both 15. I had it upside down. All right, so I might use this replacement, or I might use the original, but you can see what I did. I cleaned it up, and so it loosens it a little bit when you have to do that, but at least you get the socket on there cleanly. All right, time to put the alternator in. Okay, so I'm not able to install this into the car yet because this slider piece here has to be hammered back down into the frame of the alternator, so that it will fit onto the engine, and then the bolt can go through that. But it's still too far out. It won't slide on, so I've got to tap that down, and that's what I'm about to do now. Okay, you'll notice that I'm jacking up the engine again. I'm jacking up in between the transmission and engine, and that's going to lift up both sides fairly equally. Basically, we got to lift this engine up about a ½ inch in order for this alternator bolt to clear. Another option would be, now that since we've already got this out, we could trim off a ½ inch to the end of that. It's not needed. Either grind it or cut it. But I'm scared I might damage the thread, so I'm just going to jack it up again and use it. But or you could buy a shorter bolt. This bolt should be fairly common, and you could probably get a ½ inch shorter, and it'd probably work just fine. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm jacking it up so I can get that bolt in there for the back lower alternator bolt. Okay, I've got the belt back on, alternator secure. I wanted to comment, if it wasn't clear, that nut that I had to clean up the edges on it acts as a locking nut for the bolt. The bolt also screws into the thing that comes together to keep this in tight. All right, so the bushing or whatever that's called. So that's where that locking nut goes. Now the tool that I made to hold the tensioner pulley open or out is that. It's just an old antenna I found, and I bent it into a shape so that I could fish it up in there without having to reach up. I just had it way low and was able to fish it in. And I left that in while I was putting in the belt. Made it a lot easier. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm fixing to start putting all this stuff back together. And then I'll be working on the axle. I plan on doing the passenger side axle that's bad. So let me keep going. Okay, up top is all done as far as I can go today. I'll be putting the thermostat in up next week to finish that off. I haven't ordered the part yet. I need to do that. The next thing on the agenda is that axle right there. That boot is gone. That boot is torn up. See that? It is no bueno. So I need to replace that axle. I've got it in, so I'm ready to do it. I'm noticing not only is there grease slung everywhere from that, but there's also engine oil. So this must be where the engine leak is. Let me see if I can look up there from my back. So I think it's interesting that we have, let's see if I can get my hand on it, that thing right there. I don't know if you can see it or not in the camera, but there's a, let's see if I can reach around. This thing right here, that thing right there, that looks like an oil line to me that feeds around from the back. I wonder if an O-ring or something has gone bad there, because you can see there's oil on the engine. Yep, like right there, oil all over in this area underneath that thing. So that's a banjo fitting, I guess. Yeah, that looks like a banjo fitting. And well, can't really see it, but there's looks like a copper line. Yeah, copper line. Well, wait a minute, what is that? That's not the air conditioner. What is it? Oh, power steering. Never mind. I don't think I'm losing power steering fluid, and maybe I am. Anyway, there's an engine oil or power steering fluid or something back here, so I've still got a leak. And I am losing engine oil still, but it wasn't as bad as it was after fixing the camshaft position O-ring. That got it better. Anyway, so let me get this axle going. Fun. All right, so here's the replacement axle, and it was supposed to be a new one, but this is obviously remanufactured. Not happy about it, but I don't really have a choice. I have to use it. Looks like it wasn't cleaned up very well when they remanufactured it. Pretty dirty. But I guess ultimately I don't care as long as it works, and as long as I don't get charged a core charge. I'll have to check that out. This was purchased at rockauto.com, and it was clearly labeled as a new axle. So I will get this slapped in a few minutes, hopefully, and as long as it works, I guess I'm good. The new one's mostly in. Just wanted to comment on the passenger side axle, which was the side I just replaced. You'll notice that there are 3 bolts. They're 10mm bolts, okay, in a triangular pattern around the axle. You remove those 3 and it comes right out. There's no C-clip or anything holding it into the engine. So this side's probably easier to deal with than the driver's side, which would have a C-clip, and you'd have to get a fork tool like this. I was prepared to use this, but it wasn't needed. And you'll get that in there and in between the axle and the engine and pop it out, or the transmission on the driver's side, and pop it out. And that tool makes it real easy. well, I won't say real easy, it makes it easier. But yeah, so we're getting there. I need to tighten everything to torque values. I got to get online and find out what they are. And let's see. Yeah, I'll be putting everything back together. Brakes and everything get put back on tonight. And I should be done in a little bit. Actually, before I put the wheel back on, I'm going to go ahead and change the oil. It looks like it needs it. It's pretty black. So, I mean, now's the time. Everything's out in the open. Okay, so finish the axle, then change the oil. Well, as you can see, the sun's going down. Worked on this thing all day long. I got everything done except for the thermostat and also putting water back into the system. The oil got changed, everything got installed, alternator's ready to go, water pump's ready to go, the new axle's installed. I got the wheel back on. I still need to tighten the lug nuts on the wheel better because I need it on the ground to do that. But I'm not done with the car yet, so I'm gonna get online. First I'm gonna get clean because I'm nasty. I'm gonna get a shower and get all this grease off of me. Then I'm gonna get online and order the part I need because I couldn't get it local. And I guess that's it until next week or whenever I can get to this thing, weather permitting. All right, thanks for watching, guys.